So he throws that at this gunman. It hits the gun, and the gun fires down there, and it hit trim. This is plastic trim. That it hits that. So what you would expect to happen by the laws of physics would be, it goes straight through and into the tire. No, what it does is, if you can follow it here, it bounces back. How? It bounces and goes through the person's legs. Well, we are back for yet another episode of Gotham Knights. We're now on to episode 7. What drivel this show is. This show honestly comes across like it's written by a couple of kids, that know nothing of the world. We are dealing with writers that don't know how bullets work. I don't know how you don't know that. In this episode, we have bouncing bullets. Has anybody ever heard of that? Where you shoot at a bit of plastic and it bounces back. That's apparently what they think, how they think bullets work. So that's the kind of show that we're dealing with. It's like it's written by a couple of teenagers that have not went out of their wanking chariot. That's what it's like. Just know nothing of the world. It's just, bullets bounce, don't they? Off plastic. And that's of course not the only dumb shit we get in this episode. There's a whole bunch more. I'm kind of right on the money when I said, when I started reviewing this series, it's only going to get worse, and it hasn't disappointed. It's just got a whole lot continuously worse. I don't know what more to say about this show. It's really just again, it's written by Batwoman writers, so no wonder it is fucking retarded. Every piece of, every line that they write makes no sense. The characters make no sense. Why the characters are together makes no sense. Nothing makes sense in this show. It's just, we're gonna make these two lesbians. That's what we've got in this episode. It's so obvious. It's like, yeah, of course you are. Of course you are, because that's what you did in Batwoman. For some reason, everybody in Gotham was a lesbian. That's how that works, apparently. So we're clearly leading into that territory, kind of what you expect out the CW. But I suppose we'll just dive right into this because it is utter garbage. And of course, as always, it takes about 30 seconds to just go, now why the fuck did you make that decision? Why did you... and they make these weird decisions, and then they double down on it later by saying, yeah, that makes total sense, when it clearly doesn't. So we start out in an art museum with a burglar. Now, generally what burglars want to do when they are stealing a piece of art out of a museum, what they want to do is they want to get in, get the painting, and get the fuck out as soon as possible. What this burglar does is takes the painting and then stands and waits for security. Waits for the security officers. And then they try and rationalize that later on in the episode. It's like, no, this person is clearly dumb. Clearly. We'll get to the reason, like how they rationalize it a bit later on, but that's what we start out with. So you get this burglar, comes down from the roof, there's no alarm yet, takes the painting off the wall, of course there's going to be an alarm then, puts the painting down, and then just stands there and waits for security. Why? Do you want to get caught? Because that's how you get caught. When you hang about, when it's like, once this is all done, once the person's beaten them all, like, it just like flies straight out of the roof. Done, I'm away. So you've got no reason to wait about. No reason at all, unless you are fucking retarded, like the writers are. That's the only way you make a decision like that. So that's what we start off with. We're now 2 minutes into the episode. And you have a burglar doing something that burglars don't do because they don't want to get caught. So that's what we're dealing with this episode. An art thief that somehow they're stealing these paintings for the Court of Owls, which again makes the Court of Owls are fucking dumb. They are so dumb. They are the worst villains I've ever seen on screen. They make no sense. They're a secret society, yet they have someone stealing paintings for them, and from what it looks like, attempting to get caught. A secret society is making these decisions. You're just raising questions. That is all you're doing. By having someone do this in this manner. Have them just... what they do is they wait for security, because that's what we do. You know, that's what you do when you, I don't know, like rob a house. You wait for the owners to come home. That's what you should do. If you're going by the logic of CW writers. So then we get, we get this newscast on there. Again, even just bits like this, they just say the dumbest shit. You know, you've got this woman that says, the police haven't told us what painting was stolen. What one of our sources can say, he suggests that it's a painting worth millions. Right. That's obvious. So your sources are pretty shit. I'm just picturing, Captain Obvious out there somewhere, just going, oh, it's a painting worth millions. Oh, what you mean in an art museum? Generally, those are $1 million worth. Otherwise it wouldn't be in there. So it's just like the most obvious shit. It's like, why are you even saying that? Saying, oh, it's a painting worth millions. Well, of course it is. You're not really offering up any information, and you're the news. I don't know why the news is so weird. Even just the look of it. Gotham Morning News. What the fuck station is this? I've never seen it. It's so shit. It's so shit. They made it on the Summon, didn't they? So that's what we get over there. Just the most obvious shit. This is like the bestest detective woman ever, and she's like can't figure anything out yet. She's amazing. Turns out she's, we talk about it later. I don't want to get too far ahead, but she's like amazing. Not really though. She's fucking stupid. Really stupid. So they're like, oh, shall we go and figure out who's stealing these paintings? And they're like, nah, we don't want to do that. We got bigger problems or some shit like that. So they're not going to do that. Then they sit down and have a cup of coffee and some donuts. And I'm just like, what the fuck is this show? Why are we spending time having a cup of coffee and eating donuts and not really saying anything? That's right, because that's the writer's existence. That's the kind of people that just go and hang about at a cafe and sit there all day, talk shit with their other weirdo friends. So that's why we have scenes like this and stuff, where it's just people having a cup of coffee, talking utter bollocks and eating donuts. I don't know why we've stopped to do this. They start mentioning they start talking about the Talon. Just out of nowhere, we haven't in this show we haven't spoken about the Talon in maybe 2 episodes, and all of a sudden they're now like, we need to figure out how the Talon is still alive. I'm like, I thought we did that already. You forgot about that for 2 episodes, and you bring it up now. Well, that's because we need a contrived way to make something happen, even though we could just do it the normal way. That's the only reason we're now going to have a subplot to do with the Talon again, and not really the Talon, his mum. No, his daughter. His daughter. So that's the only reason this has been brought up now. We have 2 side plots in this episode, and none of them go anywhere. It's like, oh, you've just wasted my time. Thanks for that, CW. You've just wasted my time with side plots, like you've done every episode, that go nowhere. One of them is just there for convenience, because we can't figure out of a way for someone to get out of a situation, when it's like, well, you could just do it that way. That's like the obvious way. Just have things work. Again, have these people never seen movies? or other TV shows. It's like, you can just look at that. Oh, they did it like that. They did it normal. So maybe we just do that? No, we've got to have a side plot with our characters, that because they ain't got nothing else to do. Can't think of anything else that is worth doing. So it's just like, just give them that shit to do. That'll do, won't it? That'll do. That will keep the viewers entertained. When I say viewers, there's not many of them. So that's what we've got here. They're now like, if we figure out how the Talon is still alive, maybe that will tell us how to kill him. Right, okay, just chop his fucking head off. I don't know. Just do that. But so that's randomly come up out of nowhere. I don't know where that come from. Didn't speak about it last episode. I'm pretty sure they didn't speak about it the episode before that. And now we're just like, oh, we're going to bring that up now. That's one of our objectives now for some reason. Okay, that's what they're going to do. So then they're talking about, because in the previous episode, we had that guy get stabbed by the Talon. The Talon showed up, shown himself in front of Harvey Dent. He stabbed this guy in the back and fucked it up. The Talon managed to fail at killing someone. Even though he put a sword through the guy's back, somehow the guy's still alive after that. So it's still not looking good for the Talon. I mean, the Talon's already been beaten by a few kids. So I'm not really concerned about the Talon. He's pretty shit. Pretty shit. So yeah, they're talking about, Harvey. Why hasn't Harvey Dent told them about who it was? And you've got whatever her name is. What's her name? Joanne, Jessica. I don't know why those are coming to mind. Stephanie. Stephanie says that, that's because what Harvey's doing, he's smart enough to know that telling them that a man in an owl costume turned up, that would make him sound insane. I'm just like, you live in Gotham with a guy that dressed as a fucking bat. If Harvey Dent tells people, there was a guy dressed in an owl costume, I'm pretty sure that's believable. I'm pretty sure it's believable. I guess you can make the case for, well, he doesn't want to tell them about a secret society control and everything, but you could still say, there was a guy in an owl costume, because that's not insane for Gotham City. You had a man dressed as a bat. That's the city you live in. So a man in an owl costume, not that crazy, is it? So that doesn't make any sense. Why you wouldn't just say that? It's like, you can just don't mention the secret society stuff. Maybe you'd be fine then. Or maybe, well, to be honest, it seems like this secret society want to be found out. So, I don't know. Just ask them. Go and ask them. You can help me out here. I'm Harvey Dent. Help me out and tell the mayor and all that. Just tell them that you're a secret society. They probably do it. So that's what we start off with. So yeah, I don't know what they're going to do now. They start doing stuff later on. We've then got the Harvey Dent subplot, which it leads nowhere. It's just, we've contracted him for 12 episodes, so we got to do something with him. Again, I have to keep repeating this every episode I review. If you can't think of anything to give a character to do, just leave them out the episode. That's all you have to do. But instead we've got, Harvey's in love with this woman that's that guy's wife. Right, okay. But it's not doing anything. It's not characterization or anything like that. It's just, Harvey, he's been fucking someone's wife. That's all there is to it. So it's just a complete waste of time. So then this is when we get to the first really, really, really stupid stuff. So they're back at the hospital. This goes on and on. So then you get this bestest whammon detective ever. Even though she's really shit. She's really dumb. So you have then they're watching the footage of this robbery at the art museum. And the guy says, is it because the robber waits for the security to come for some reason, he's like, is this guy just, cocky or dumb? I'd bet dumb. But then the amazing police whammon officer that's so amazing, she's got all this awards. She comes and says, "Oh no, what that guy is, he's smart by waiting for security." That's what we're told. Again, we are clearly dealing with writers that have never got off their wanking chariot. Don't know anything of the world, so they're like, yeah, that makes sense, doesn't it? You know, that's what people do when they do robberies. We're going to have a character come in and say, yeah, that's actually smart. But we'll go through exactly what she said. She says, he's being smart, actually. The thief waits for security to arrive so he can take them out. Because if they're down, they can't pursue or shoot him. Right, when the security guards came into the room, they were shooting at you. They were shooting at the burglar. So the idea, no, I'm just going to wait here. So then but if you just take the painting and leave straight away, how are they going to pursue you out the roof? They're not going to be able to. So just take the painting and zip straight back up out the roof. You're away. There's no reason whatsoever that's not a justification for waiting for security. You know, have we ever heard of thieves doing that? No, we haven't. They try and get in, get out as quick as possible. So don't tell me that the burglar is being smart. Unbelievable. It really is just unbelievable, this show. But and she's meant to be, and no one goes, oh, you're pretty shit detective, aren't you? If you think the reason he did it is because he's smart. Unbelievable. There's no justification for it whatsoever. You know, I don't. I imagine people would try and argue, no, it don't make no fucking sense. So yeah, so then this woman's, because they're talking about, oh, this burglar changes his MO every time, and she's like, why would he change his MO every time? And the amazing police whammon says, someone who doesn't want to get caught. So generally, someone who doesn't want to get caught, they don't hang about and wait for security when they're stealing a painting out of a museum. So fuck off with this. He doesn't want to get caught. He's smart. No, he's not. He's a fucking dimwit. That is what this burglar is. So where do we go now? So yeah, then we go back to Duella, which why do the Gotham Knights, if we have to call them that, why do they want Duella as a part of their group? Because she's a piece of shit. She's clearly villainous from what we're about to see. But she comes back. She's like went out in the school's teacher ed car where they teach students to learn driving. She comes back and she's got Eunice in the boot. She's went into an old person's home. Remember, they're still fugitives. She's went into a nursing home. She has ran off with one of their, you know, the person that lives there. So all you're doing is bringing attention. Did you think about CCTV? Any of that? No, you just walked in the place with what you look like and what your wanted poster is. You strolled out with an old woman. Right, so they're gonna, even if they didn't see it, it's like they're gonna notice you're. Again, I think the writers still forget that we're dealing with fugitives. So you can't just willy-nilly go around and do stuff like that. So that's what she's done. She stole an old woman, which this is the Talon's daughter. That's what they've done. You know, even it's like, so the Talon should. I don't know why the Court of Owls don't know where this group is. I don't know why they haven't figured it out. I don't know why nobody's watching over the Talon's mother. You know, anyone could follow them back to this place. So it's just like, maybe don't do that. Maybe just sneak in and ask you questions there. You got no reason to bring her here, but the reason why she's here is so we can get out of a situation later on, even though we could just do it normal anyway. So that's what we're doing. She's now taken her. This group are going over, all these paintings have something in common. So there is a pattern with what art pieces are being stolen, and the police have not figured it out, even though it's obvious. You know, generally, if there's all these art pieces being stolen, they will look at who did it belong to, who painted it, all these different things. They haven't done any of that yet. For some reason, our amazing Gotham twats have figured out, oh, they were all owned by Alan Wayne. The police haven't figured that out. There's no one preventing them from figuring that out. I guess some people would make the case, oh, well, the police woman, you know, what she turns out to be later on, well, she's behind it. She stopped them getting... No, that would be the first thing they look at before they even called her in. They would look at, oh, who did these belong to? You know, to try and look for a pattern in why specific paintings are being stolen within an art museum that has paintings that are of more value. Nobody's looked into that. Our Gotham twats have figured that out somehow. I mean, it's not even that hard to figure out, yet the police haven't figured that out. Just fuck off, honestly. So there's more stuff that makes absolutely no sense, but that is this show, I guess. So yeah, they're now under the assumption they're now assuming that, you know, it does turn out to be the case, but they're now assuming, oh, this has something to do with the Court of Owls then. So again, it's like, so the Court of Owls are sending someone off to steal paintings and try to get caught in the process by standing around and waiting for security. Again, I'm just always mystified at how you can call yourself a secret society when you do nothing in secret. Why do you even need to hire someone to steal paintings? You are the Court of Owls. You can just stroll in. So why? There's no reason for it. So that's when they're like, right, we're gonna start getting involved with this now or something. Where she's like, but yeah, they're now going to get involved with it because it involves, so basically, you know, he says, oh, it's something for the Gotham Knights. So it's very self-serving. It's for themselves. You have Harper complaining about, I'm not getting paintings back for some rich guys. It's like, it's in a museum. It's not owned by it's in a museum. It's in a gallery. So she's a bit of a commie bitch, so that's why she's like that. You know, the old tax the rich stuff. Because she couldn't get a good job, you see, because, well, she's a genius, but no, she's actually retarded, as we'll soon see later on in the episode. So, Duella has kidnapped this old woman, right? Okay, that's what you've done. No one's noticed. Again, a very silly decision. But, you know, Duella's quirky, you see. So that's why she makes decisions like that. I'm just trying to see whereabouts we are. Because the stuff with Duella gets a whole lot worse. But again, it's like you've kidnapped an old woman. It's like, why does anybody want you around? You're just doing bad shit. Alright, so yeah, it even turns out that Duella tased this old woman. She that's what she says. She says, "Oh, I only tased her a little." It's like you're going around tasing people, tasing old women that have no strength to fight you with, and you're tasing them. That's a very heroic thing to do. And no one pulls her up on this shit. No one says, like, what the fuck are you doing, you absolute evil bitch? No one says anything to her. It's like, right, there's no reason for anybody else in this group to want her around. You're not giving me any reason for that. So, yeah, that's what she later on, she tortures this old woman, by the way. And they're still like, oh, no, that's fine. By the end of the episode, you know, Carrie's, like, horrified by it. And then at the end of the episode, she's, like, fine with it. It's like, nah, she tortured an old woman. Fucking hell. So, yeah, now we go back to our main plot line. So they're now back in the library of the school. Again, they're always in this school, lights on, fire blazing. They're they're fugitives, and still, how long have they been fugitives now? I don't know how much time it's been. It seems like a long time. So yeah, now, I don't know if you remember one of the previous episodes. Remember we had the guy put a mustache on. He's a fugitive, and he went in the GCPD, and he stuck a USB in their servers. So that USB's still there. Nobody at the GCPD, the IT guys, have went, what the fuck's this USB thing doing in our servers? No, they haven't checked the servers, even though, generally you have staff that do stuff with the servers. So, but no one's noticed this yellow USB sticking out the back that clearly doesn't belong there. So they've still got that in there. Again, they clearly haven't seen anything. It's like you watch anything like Mission Impossible. If they do something with like a USB, they put it in and they make sure they take it away. You can't leave that shit behind. Because people are going to wonder, what the fuck's this USB thing doing there? And that's going to open up questions. They're then going to, I'm pretty sure you can trace those to where it's sending the information. But now the GCPD haven't noticed it. This big yellow USB sticking out the back of their servers. Because, servers aren't important, especially when you're dealing with sensitive information at the GCPD. So that's what they've got now. Okay, now. So, again, I have to bring up, what they go over. It's like, oh, the police whammon still hasn't figured out. It's hard to speak about this, with knowing who's actually stealing these heart pieces. But again, you're dealing with this amazing detective that's good at recognizing patterns. She hasn't figured out that all the paintings being stolen were at one point belonged to Alan Wayne. That hasn't been figured out yet. Nobody else has figured it out, even though that is a very obvious thing to look at. So just to mention that again, Harper says, "Oh, you can sit in here to get answers on a laptop, or you could go out and hit the streets." So she hits the streets as a fugitive. Good idea. But we'll come back to where she goes later on. So, I don't know, he's going over these pictures. Then that guy's wife that he's been banging, she's ringing him up saying, "Someone's calling my house," and not saying anything. I'm like, right, we're doing great stuff here. So now what we have is a fugitive walks into a bar to meet a person that she stole millions of dollars off and threw it out onto the streets. Good plan. This is the same guy that was gonna get the reward money for her, and she's went, "No, I'm a fugitive. My pictures are all over Gotham. I'm gonna walk into a pub, walk into this bar. I'm then gonna confront the guy that I stole millions. Again, this is the son of the mob boss, and that's her genius. She's apparently a genius." Yet these are, again, the decisions that she makes. I mean, you can't present people as geniuses and then they do stuff like this. You just can't do that. Doesn't make any sense, does it? So yeah, we get a long, boring shit. He's a bit of a pussy. So let me just see whereabouts I am. So yeah, he mentions stuff like, "Oh, I'm in therapy." Oh shit, I'm messing this up. Yeah, he's like, I'm in therapy, so seeing you is triggering for me. And I'm just like, you're in the mob, and you're triggered. You're triggered by some girl that you banged once. Okay. So, of course, as expected, we get a long conversation of feelings. I'm just like, I don't fucking care. I do not care. So she's like, "You were going to turn us in for the reward money." Yeah, and you thought the best idea was come and confront him again. Good idea. And he's like, "My therapist made me realise that I was trying to punish you for not reciprocating my feelings." All right, okay, that's that then. That was fun. That was really, really fun. So now we're about to torture an old woman. That's very heroic. Very heroic. So they're like asking her questions. They want to find out how her dad is still alive. That's the hot. But again, don't really. They may get a bit of information, which I mean, it's pretty obvious. Oh, it's the reason why he's still alive. It's to do with the Lazarus pit. That's why. It's very obvious. It's very obvious where they're sort of going with that. Because there's nothing else. So she's all like pissed off, like, you evil bitches, you two bitches. And I'm just like, yeah, I'm kind of rooting for this granny now. So, yeah, we then have Duella tortures an old woman. She's like not asking questions. And then Duella's like, fuck it, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to turn this... Has she done it yet? She turns the old woman... Like, clearly, this is how the old woman breathes. And Duella turns it off. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? And again, I have to keep coming back to, what does this group see in you? You are clearly unhinged. And a lot of that comes down to, because, oh, my dad was the Joker, so this is how I got to behave. So that's what they got her doing. They got, just get rid of her. Get rid of her. I don't know why this group would put up with this. Carrie's fine with it. Like, even though Carrie's like horrified at the moment, later on she's like, "Oh, we're friends again now. That torturing you did is all fine." You know, this is again, it's very funny that you're dealing with Carrie, whatever her face is, that worked under Batman. You know, is this something that Batman would do? Would allow to go on? You know, he torture an old woman. So, to get their information, she's just like, what if I get your music box that we stole? So that's going to get her talking. And Duella's like, oh, never negotiate if I'm in a hostage situation for me. No, she's going to get information out of this old woman simply by returning a music box. You tortured her when all you had to do was go get the music box and she would speak. So the idea that, oh, Carrie, she's bad at negotiating. No, she's not. She's getting this old woman talking just for providing a music box. So, yeah, I don't know your logic. So then we go back. I don't. They have a bit of a to-do about, oh, she went and talked to that mob guy again. I don't know why Cullen's so annoyed about that. So they're looking at the painting that is it's the last painting that was Alan Wayne, so they got to steal that. They're now like, oh, we're going to catch this thief in the act. Shouldn't be that hard, to be honest. They wait around for people to catch them. So they're hanging out, waiting for this to go down. I don't think I'm missing anything here. But they're still like convinced it's to do with the Court of Owls. You know, again, I don't really know why. It's based on, oh, it's Alan Wayne. I'm just like, why do they want paintings? You know, even at the end, basically the paintings turn out to be for. It's basically a map, just a map of Gotham. Like you can go buy those in a shop. But no, you wanted to, right? Okay, that's what they're doing. So then they notice, oh, there's the thief. So they go around to chase it. No one's there. Then the person starts shooting at them. So Harper gets grazed. And then we're going to go through this bit by bit because, of course, it makes absolutely no sense. We're coming up to the bouncing bullets. So what happens is Turner, for some reason, knows how to throw batarangs with absolute precision. I don't know where you learned that, but okay. So he throws that at this gunman. It hits the gun, and the gun fires down there, and it hit trim. You know this is plastic trim. That it hits that. So what you would expect to happen by the laws of physics would be, oh, it goes straight through and into the tire. No, what it does is, if you can follow it here, it bounces back. It bounces. How? It bounces and goes through the person's legs. How does that fucking happen? I've never used a gun, but I know bullets don't do that. It would depend what material you shot it at. But if it's something along the lines of car bodywork, trim, it goes through it. Just goes through it. It doesn't bounce off it. That does not happen. So that makes no sense. Fucking honestly, again, I'm not a smart person, and even I know that doesn't goes against the laws of physics. That it just bounces back and goes through this person's leg. Just get the fuck out of here. Really, that's just so dumb. So, it turns out to be the amazing Whammon detective who's the bestest ever. She's being extorted to to steal these paintings because they got her family. So basically, what you've done is your family is held hostage, and you rob art museums and you hang about for security. That makes you even more dumb. If you fail, they're gonna kill your family, and that's the way you're robbing places. You're just waiting about for You're waiting to get caught because you think that's smart. You're not behaving like someone that has their family held hostage. I'm sorry, you're not. You clearly don't give a fuck about them, and you're retarded. Just throw that in there. So that's apparently who it is. She go. I don't know how she goes away, because she's like, oh, so I got to get this painting, otherwise they kill me family. So they're like, oh, well, we'll steal it for you. We ain't got nothing going on. And then she like disappears out the episode. I'm like, well, what? She was shot through the legs. She ain't going nowhere. She ain't going nowhere. Later on in the episode, she's also been shot through yet she can walk about like it's nothing. Right, that's what we're doing there. So, yeah, they've now returned the music box to this Whammon. And she's like, oh, the Court of Owls came with an offer to my dad that, oh, you'll get hanged, but you'll come back again. We've got this juice for you that prevents you from dying. Which, again, obvious. Oh, Lazarus pit. Lazarus juice. So then we go back to the side plot with Harvey, which goes nowhere, so let's skip it. So they're now like, right, we're going to get this painting for you. Am I missing anything here? No, I don't think I am. So they're like, right, we got to get in this place. I don't know. Basically, what they're doing with these two is they're going to turn out to be lesbians. That's the whole point in that. Very interesting stuff. It's just that's what I love best about anything to do with superhero stuff. Is what about, are we going to have lesbian relationships? That's what I want to know. That's what I want to know. To be honest, I'm quite happy they do something like this. Have them snogging, have them doing all this stuff. I'm quite happy to watch it. I'm pretty sure the people that watch it at home, like the old men, they love it. So, do it for them, I suppose. But yeah, it's not fucking interesting, is it? It's just like, oh, you're doing what we expected. It's not going anywhere. It's just, oh, they're lesbians. Oh, right. What does that do for the story? Does it do anything? No, it doesn't. Doesn't matter anyway, because there's no fucking story here. It's just, we got 12 episodes. We didn't even get a full season. So yeah, they're like, we'll do it for you. We get so then Duella, this old woman, strangles Duella with her nose pipes, right? Okay, and Duella's like, it's an old fucking woman. It is an old woman. She is not strong in the slightest. She's not strong. So what are you going? No, it's an old woman, frail old woman. You should not be getting beat by her. But yeah, that's what they're doing. So then Carrie runs in. She's like, oh, duh. And then we go back to the Gotham twats. And they're like, oh, the Detective Green must have had the wrong information because this is a biometric fingerprint scanner thingy-majig. So we can't get in. The only way we can get in is if we blast open the doors, and then we got 60 seconds. You know, I don't know what they're basing that on to get the painting and get out of this place. So you haven't fought. What about the roof? Is there an opening in the roof? No, you're just going straight to a bat bomb on the door. It's going to blow the doors off the hinges. And by the way, there's security officers in this building, yet the shooting that was going on earlier, never heard it? Never heard, you never thought, there's a load of shooting going on out there, Dave. We better go and have a little look, shall we? No, but somehow they're in this place. You know, again, cameras. Is there any cameras? No. They didn't see all this shit going down in the car park of this warehouse. Didn't see any of it. Whatever. So that's, yeah, they're like, oh, there's no other way. Go and have a look. Just go and look if there's another way to get in before you commit to blowing the doors off its hinges. But no, they're not waiting for that. Yeah, he's like, oh, I've got a bat bomb. So yeah, he somehow has that for some reason. You know, why you got that? For what reason? I don't know. He's got it because, you know, we need them to blow the door off. Rather than just, oh, have them go up on the roof and get in that way. But no. So then we got the side plot with Harvey, right, goes nowhere, whatever. So, right, so now we're back to this heist playing out. And what they blow they've got 60 seconds to get this paint. It takes them a lot longer than 60 seconds. To get this painting, so they're running. Look at this big warehouse. 60 seconds to figure out where this painting is. Okay. You know, all this stuff, and that's 60 seconds. So they start looking through this, and they're now like, oh, what does the painting look like? What? You didn't look at what painting you're looking. Stephanie outside has the picture of this painting on her laptop. And they didn't think, oh, we'll have a quick look at that so we know what we're looking for. No, they waited till they ran in this place with only 60 seconds to go, what does it look like? Fuck me, you're so dumb. So unbelievably dumb. Yeah, again, Stephanie's got this up on her laptop outside of the warehouse. Why would you not have a quick look at what you're trying to get here? No, they don't do it. They wait. They've got 60 seconds, and they're now like, oh, what does it look like? Fuck. Honestly, how are they not caught? How are they not caught? They should be. So they get the painting, you know, they're running about to hide from these security guards. There's loads of security guards. None of them heard the shootout going on just outside of the warehouse. They didn't think, oh, there's some gun. That's a weird sound. Better check the CCTV out there. Nobody thought to do that. If they did do that, they wouldn't be getting this painting, would they? So they managed to run out, get on the thing, get in the truck. They drive off. They're now back at the tower. We got Duella. She got stabbed through the hand by the crazy woman. So yeah, we just get a load of quirky shit from her. And then what do we have here? So, yeah, they're like, oh, you know, why do the Court of Owls want this? You know, if they want this, it's probably something to do with, you know, it's going to become a danger to other people. I'm not a painting. You know, I don't know why a painting is like, that's very dangerous. You know, I don't know. But again, it's like the court are fucking idiots because now it's played. Oh, it was the court that wanted these paintings. So they did it in the stupidest way possible. Again, they didn't need this detective to steal these paintings. You know, they are the secret society of Gotham. They control everything. They control everything. If they wanted a painting, they could just say, give us that painting. That's all they need. They don't need someone stealing them. That is just a lot of extra work when they are the society that they control everything. They control everything. Oh, Jesus. So, yeah, Yeah, that's apparently what they're doing. So then he gets a call on the phone, and it's turns out, oh, we've got the meeting to hand over this painting and get the detective's family back. So that's what we're doing next. And that's when you realize, oh, that's why we've got Eunice. That's why we got the old woman in this episode. So they can barter with her rather than just the Gotham Knights show up with the painting and the Court of Owls give them the hostages. You know, just do that. Then you haven't really got as many issues, have you? But instead you've went, no, what will have happen is we'll have randomly what will come up is they start talking about how does the Talon, like, how is he still alive? We'll do that after 2 episodes of not even talking about the Talon. And then Duella randomly goes, I'm going to go and steal his daughter out an old people's home. And then we're going to torture her. We'll get a silly little piece of information that is really no information. Just so we can have it play out this way. It's like so many extra steps that you don't need to do. And it's now made the episode worse. But no, Batwoman writers, they don't know what they're doing. So it's the Court of Owls. They're like, nah, we're not giving you the hostages. And then he's like, oh, I don't think you want to piss off the guy that loves chopping heads. This is his daughter here. So they do a hostage exchange, and once it's done, it's like, right, well, get them now. You can get them now. You can just blow. They've got guns as well. So it's just, you know, well, to be honest, in this world, the bullets would just bounce back at the Court of Owls, wouldn't they? So probably not worth doing. But they could have just went, all right, let's blast holes in that truck now. We've got what we wanted. But they don't do any of that. So then we have a bit of somber music. They're like obviously in love. I'm like, yeah, of course it's CW, isn't it? CW. You know, I want you to commit to it though. I want to see full lesbian porn in the next episode. That's what I want. You know, commit to it. If you're gonna do it, commit to it. That is what I want to see. Just make that the whole episode. That would be a lot more enjoyable. It really would. A lot more enjoyable. So, but it's obvious that they do. Oh, they hated each other before, but now they've fallen in love. Fucking honestly, written by a 16-year-old. Fan fiction. That's what you call it, isn't it? It's essentially Twilight fan fiction. That's what it is. So Harvey's now in bed with this woman, whatever the fuck. She gets a call from the hospital. They're like, your husband's woke up. He's a bit distraught at that. He wanted him to die so he could steal his wife. Right, okay. So then they've got a top story, the hostages are back with their mother. But no, it's, you know, this will be shocking to most. But Detective Green is now back with her wife and baby daughter. She's a lesbian, everybody. What do you know? In Gotham, of course. Oh, Jesus Christ. So, yeah, they do that. And now I'm just like, so, everybody now knows that your kids were kidnapped. Are they not going to be asking questions? How are you able to still walk after being shot through the kneecap? How are you able to, you know, I don't know. There's all these questions. They haven't thought it through. I'm just like, so do the police know that it was her that was stealing the paintings? Do they know any of this? Because they should be asking questions like, so they stop, what do they want you to do? You know, there'd be a big investigation about this. They're just like, nah, she's reunited with her family that were held hostage. Nobody's asking questions, I guess. So, yeah, they have a moment. I'm like, oh, they're going to fall in love as well, aren't they? Out of nowhere, even though Duella is a despicable person. So, yeah, she gives them that music box, and then, oh, what do you know? I don't think I've missed anything here. Yeah, what do you know? They put this back in the music box, and then it opens up a little trap door with pictures of the Court of Owls. Right, so you didn't really look at that music box properly. Even though you knew that the Talon delivered it to his daughter. So there's probably something in it. But no, they just stick the thing in it. It opens, and now they've got pictures of this. I don't really know what this means, to be honest. And then we have, you know, it always gets really choppy at the end of these episodes, where they're throwing in all different stuff. It's like, yeah, calm down. So you've now got this woman who we know was working for the Court of Owls, and she's come here asking Harvey Dent for help. Right, you're doing that now. You worked for Batman, and you never asked him for help to deal with the Court of Owls. But now, all of a sudden, you're like, oh, I'm gonna ask Harvey Dent for help. You could have done that with Batman. Batman wouldn't be dead now, would he? Fuck off. So it mixes that in with the Court of Owls. They're having some ceremony. They make the worst music choice ever. It's like, you know, I kind of picture these types of villains at, you know, classical music. But they just have this weird fucking song on. And I'm like, I don't know what you're doing. You know, it's like something out of Trainspotting. You know, it's that sort of, you know, that kind of, you know, music. So, yeah, they burn the paintings, and I'm just like, all they wanted it for, and it just turns out to be essentially a map. So, yeah, you can see it there. So, it burned, basically a map of Gotham. Right, so, you couldn't have got those in a tourist shop, you know, a map. No, you had to make extra steps again, because that's what the Court of Owls does. So that's all it was for. So I don't know what it, you know, it's obvious. It's pretty obvious these are, I don't know why they need it. And I don't think it's going to be explained, because it's fucking Gotham Knights. So yeah, all I can say is, oh, they did it for a map that they could get in a local shop. Very smart, these Court of Owls. So, yeah, she's like, oh, the Court of Owls are planning something. I'm coming to you with this information so you can figure out to do something. And that's the end of the episode. Thank fucking Christ. Again, we're dealing with another episode where I don't know how we've been going for 50 minutes. But it's just never ending, filled with fucking dog shit. And you just have to keep repeating it so you really understand how stupid it is. Because a lot of it is just baffling. We had bouncing bullets. That's how that works. We had two pointless side plots that don't go anywhere. And I mean, what else have we really done? The Gotham Knights haven't are the Gotham Knights ever just... Can we really just come out with, right, oh, the Gotham Knights are actually innocent? Can we just do that now? It's been 7 episodes. But no, they're not letting us off that easy. 7 episodes in. And I'm still just... I don't really know what the show's about. It's, oh, there's a secret society. But they're not really, because they're pretty bad at it. The Gotham Knights have been framed for something. We still haven't solved that. We haven't done anything to try and get us... We're now just going, oh, they're the Gotham Knights now. They go round and fight crime. What about getting themselves out of the fugitive situation? Which really, I don't think matters, because they just walk about like they're not fugitives. We had Harper earlier on walk out into a bar to go and talk to a guy that she stole millions of dollars off. So it's like it doesn't really even come into play. So there's no point in even fucking pretending, is there? But I've got nothing else to say about that. Again, we've been going like 53 minutes. So I better cut it. I wanted to make this a lot shorter. And we've ended up here again. It just ends up taking so long to talk about. But that is episode 7. So we've now got 5 to go. So not very long. I really can't wait.